Well, good afternoon and welcome to this high noon showdown between the Bulls and the Wolves here at Odsal. It is the under-19s, the County Championship, and it is the Bradford Bulls against the Warrington Wolves. 11th against 4th in the table, and Lee Beattie's side this afternoon, they were looking to bounce back after a heavy defeat at home against Wigan. There was certainly a lot of effort though from the young Bulls, and despite going down at one point by 40 points to 12, they hit back with two late tries to never say die and add an air of respectability to the score. We've got the Bradford Bulls supporters group listening in this afternoon, so too Taurus. We're going out on Mixlr, tune in, and you'll also be able to watch the game back on Bulls TV. Bradford line-up then this afternoon: Alex Stevenson at fullback, Winfried Quarterline, Ryan Leadbeater, Elliot Cullen, Bradley Gallagher and Ryan Butterworth. The halves will be Rowan Milnes and Kobe Green. The front row forwards: Evan Hodgson, Rhys Butterworth, Oliver Wilson. The back rowers: Matty Staunton, Lawrence Akanga and Matthew Fletcher. Only to change bench for Lee Beattie's side this afternoon: Jake Lightowell, Keelan Foster, Vidas Vasnes and Cameron Berry. And there's just a little bit of a false start here at Odsal. We're good to go now. Referee Callum Worsley says time on, and immediately the ball's going to be fielded by the Bradford Bulls, who will have first use of the ball, and they will play from left to right. So they'll defend the Rural Lane terracing, they will attack the South Bank side, and immediately the Bulls in their home shirt of red, amber and black shorts are over on the far stand side, and it's going to be Rhys Butterworth in at dummy half. 30 seconds gone here on Bulls Live on Bulls TV, and they're now 5 shy of the halfway line as it goes out of dummy half from Butterworth to Hodgson. Hodgson gets a starting spot this afternoon. Last week he had to come off the bench, and immediately Kobe Green to Stevenson to Cullen comes down his main stand side, and Elliot Cullen traps up on the 5th and last tackle. 35 away from the Warrington line, it goes back out of dummy half to Kobe Green. The Welshman straight down the throat there of Joe Edge for the Warrington Wolves, and Joe Edge is going to be immediately brought down there in a two-man tackle. Oliver Wilson and Rhys Butterworth there, they were hunting and they caught the prey, and Warrington find themselves deep inside their own half with exactly a minute gone on the clock here at Odsal. And early doors, Bradford looking to generate and wrestle some of that ascendancy, a bit of that momentum, and as we said, 7 times they've come out of the dressing rooms in 2018. They've only had 2 victories, and those 2 victories were against Widnes away and that amazing victory at Dudley Hill Parry Lane against St Helens. They've had a couple of narrow defeats, but Lee Beattie able to call on Keelan Foster, Vidas Vasnes, Cameron Berry, also Ryan Leadbeater and Bradley Gallagher back from injury. So it's a very strong Bradford Bulls under-19 side this afternoon, although they are without Eben Skerr, who picked up a knock. So Warrington, they've had a first set of 6, they got up to halfway line, they kicked in from Richie Westwood at dummy half, that went straight down the throat of Alex Stevenson, and 2 tackles into the set of 6. The Bulls, they're heading towards halfway, just to the right of centre field with Lawrence Akanga. Akanga takes 4 Warrington defenders out of that defensive line. Warrington their traditional primrose and blue. It goes to Stevenson with a little bit of a half break on this main stand side, wrapped up 12 metres inside that Warrington half. It goes to Akanga to Wilson gets the legs motoring, he's brought down 30 out, centre of the field. Referee says last tackle. Rowan Milnes is going to put the winger Lewis Hall on that left hand edge under pressure. Lewis Hall takes it, but he's immediately flattened there by Gallagher and Butterworth, and Warrington, they'll take over possession and they'll have ball 2 metres inside the field of play from the try line, and the loud shrill blast of referee Worsley's whistle is for a high tackle, and he's going to point at Matt Fletcher and Rhys Butterworth, the 2 Bradford players wearing the scrum caps this afternoon. So we've had 3 minutes gone on the clock. Bulls Live, Bulls TV. Mick Liddell calling the action here at Odsal, and Warrington have a relieving penalty that will see them move out of their own 20. Referee Worsley not happy that it's been tapped in the correct spot, so a little bit pedantic with the whistle early doors here. It's going to be tapped there by Elliot Wingley. Wingley gives it to the big front Jacob Chamberlain, and Chamberlain is flattened there by Fletcher and Wilson in a two-man tackle. Reece Butterworth and Akanga now double teaming up in defence, attacking the legs. In at dummy half is Elliot Wingley for the Wolves. He's going to find Richie Abram. Abram gives it to Westwood. Westwood's going to be wrapped up just shy of halfway. Quick play the ball out of dummy half to the loose forward. Ellis Robson now carries Warrington inside the Bradford half. Fourth tackle gone here for the Wolves. 45 metres out from that Bradford line. They're going to kick early as it goes out of dummy half from Wingley to Westwood. Westwood straight down the throat of Stevenson on the diagonal, and Stevenson's going to front up and he'll be brought down on the Bradford 20. So 5 minutes gone. Bulls TV, Bulls Live here, and Ryan Leadbeater's first use of the ball will be to carry the Bulls forward. 10 metres on the run there down the middle, the heart of this Wolves defence. It's going to go from Butterworth on the 35 to Hodgson. Hodgson to Stevenson. Stevenson out wide, and we're going to see Ryan Butterworth herring away, and he's brought down 15 metres inside that Warrington Wolves half. Quick play the ball. It's with Rowan Mills. Mills to Hodgson. Hodgson offloads to Butterworth. Butterworth goes down the middle. He's 15 metres out from the line. Cover tackle there from Tyler Brown. Brown wraps him up. Quick play the ball. The Bulls have numbers on that fast hand side, but they're going down the middle with Matt Fletcher, and Fletcher's wrapped up on the last tackle. Green peppers one behind the Warrington Wolves defensive line, and the fullback Joe Edge there. He will carry the ball over the dead ball line, and this is an impressive start for Lee Beattie's side. They've put Warrington under a lot of pressure early doors, and it will be a repeat set, and a deserved repeat set here at Odsal. Don't forget, if you were planning on making your way to Odsal this afternoon, we have Clayton against Queensbury. A lot of love not lost in that village battle at 2 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock it is the big one. White against Wibsey. Two South Bradford sides, a lot of heritage there, a lot of history. It promises to be a fantastic afternoon here at Odsal, although Bradford on the goal line dropout restart, they've come up with a forward pass out of dummy half. It was Reece Butterworth to Lawrence Akanga, and referee Worsley has picked that one up, got the call from the touch judge. So that's the first error of the afternoon from the Bradford Bulls, and that will please head coach Lee Beattie, who was certainly looking forward to the Bulls inside the Warrington Wolves red zone. A bit of encouragement being yelped from the dugout from Mark Dunning. So Warrington, they'll have the scrum, 20 out from their own try line, deep inside their own half. We've had 7 minutes gone here at Odsal Stadium. Bradford 0, Warrington 0. Bulls Live, Bulls TV, as the little diminutive dummy half runner Elliot Wingley's going to find Jacob Chamberlain. Chamberlain quick play the ball, and here goes Lewis Johnson for the Warrington Wolves. 5 metres shy of halfway as it goes from Ellis Robson. Robson along the line to Jordan Olmes, and Olmes is wrapped up by Akanga and Green. 2 men in the tackle there, and Olmes will get to his feet on the halfway line. They're going to go down the middle. Bumper car stuff here as Evan Hodgson and Reece Butterworth and Matty Fletcher bring down Jack Wright, and Wright turned on his back on the last tackle for the Wolves. The 10 metres inside the Bulls half on the Bradford 40. The kick will come in from JB Abraham, and Abraham's kick has gone backwards, picked up by Rowan Mills. Mills has it, 15 out from his own line, gives it to Leadbeater, and Leadbeater is going to take a 3-man tackle just outside his own 20. So Bradford back in possession. We've had 8 minutes gone here. High octane stuff as Oliver Wilson goes down the middle, not afraid to do the high yards forward. Warrington defending on the Bradford 40, Bradford on the 30, as it goes from Hodgson along the line to Fletcher. Fletcher's going to be twisted and turned in a 3-man tackle. Butterworth's in there at dummy half, ready to probe. Goes back down the middle to Hodgson. Hodgson along the line to Green. Green to Akanga. Akanga's going to be brought down in a 4-man tackle on the 4th tackle. 2 shy of halfway. First penalty of the afternoon to the Bradford Bulls. Lawrence Akanga there. Those 4 Warrington defenders they might as well have brought the sleeping bags and the alarm clock. They were laying on for dear but mercy there, and Bradford awarded their first penalty, and Alex Stevenson's going to find touch 30 out from the line. So just shy of 10 minutes gone here at Odsal, on what's going to be a fantastic afternoon for the amateur and community game at Odsal. And Elliot Cullen's going to tap the ball, he's going to show and go, he's going to make 10 metres forward. He's brought down 18 away from that Warrington line, 5 in from this main stand side. Butterworth in at dummy half to Akanga to Hodgson. Hodgson gets the head down and goes in, and he's brought down just outside the Warrington 10. Here goes Butterworth out of dummy half. The two hookers, the two nines, they're wrestling. Butterworth held in the tackle, dumped on his back, gets the quick play the ball in. Hodgson at dummy half to Milnes. Milnes floats it out to Stevenson. Stevenson out wide. Ryan Butterworth in at the corner. What a fantastic try that was for Lee Beattie's side. Bulls 4, Wolves 0. 10 minutes gone on the clock. Quick hands there from Stevenson and Milnes, and Ryan Butterworth coasts in unopposed at the corner. Lewis Hall, Joe Pillett, nowhere to be seen, and the Bulls have an early lead here at Odsal, 4-0. Alex Stevenson will line the conversion attempt up on the far stand side in front of the Providence stand. 3 from 4 attempts last Thursday in that 40 points to 22 defeat against the Wigan Warriors. He's got a little bit of wind behind him, just a little bit of breath, almost like a whisper, but that one has gone horribly to the left hand side of the uprights, and the score remains on Bulls TV and Bulls Live. Bradford Bulls 4, Warrington Wolves no score. 11 minutes gone on the clock. Don't forget, tomorrow at the Odsal Stadium we'll be live from 2 o'clock. We've got quite a few interviews to play. We've got a bit of Elliot Minchella, a bit of John Kane as part of the course, Joe Keys, George Flanagan, Liam Johnson, who won't be playing. But yeah, it promises to be a great occasion tomorrow as the top 2 in League 1 meet. But here at Odsal, it's all about the under-19s Academy and an early 4-0 lead for the Bradford Bulls, although they've let the ball bounce on the restart. And I think they're going to get away with it here, the Bulls. There was a bit of reverb, the ball bounced, and it went back towards the halfway line. But the Warrington player knocks the ball on the Bradford 20, and the Bulls will have a relieving scrum here, 20 metres out from their own line, 20 in from the far stand side here at Odsal Stadium. So 12 minutes gone, and that's just the start that the Bulls would have wanted. Mick Dobson and Keith Harrell, they're listening in Clayton. They're saying that they're on the way to Odsal shortly. As we said, the Hudson Foster Plate game is between Clayton and Queensbury. That, of course, at 2 o'clock kick-off this afternoon. Butterworth out of dummy half to Wilson. So from the scrum, Bradford are up to their own 40, 10 shy of the halfway line as Green, flat-looking pass to Hodgson, Hodgson to Akanga, Akanga surges towards the halfway line, plays the ball a metre inside the Warrington half. Hodgson, good hands to Cullen, and Elliot Cullen is going to take the Bulls 30 out from that Warrington line. Butterworth at dummy half to Hodgson, good distribution there to Fletcher, and last tackle, says referee Callum Worsley. It's going to come in from Kobe Green. Green's going to put the winger under pressure. The Warrington winger spelled it. Ryan Leadbeater regathers, and he's going to find the support on the outside for Elliot Cullen. Fortune favours the brave. The Bulls have a second try. They've extended the lead. It's 8 points to 0. "13 minutes gone on the clock at Odsal. Who would have dreamt this? A try to Elliot Cullen, backing up the effort there from Ryan Butterworth. And the Bulls have 2 quick-fire tries here at Odsal, and once again the kick will be right on the touchline for Alex Stevenson. But what a way to start this game on Bulls Live, on Bulls TV. Culling and Butterworth, and it's 8-0 to Lee Beattie's side. Well, as we said, Bradford 11th in the table. They may have lost the previous 5, and they may be near the bottom, but they've only got a points for and against of -66. That shows you how narrow those 5 defeats have been. Stevenson then, that one's looking better. It's going to creep in that right hand upright, and Bradford have a double-digit lead. It's 10 points to 0. Ryan Butterworth and Elliot Culling, the 2 tries in the opening 15 minutes here at Odsal Stadium. And Warrington looking a little bit shell-shocked. As we said, the Warrington Wolves come into this game on the back of a 3-game winning run. They're 4th in the table. And Warrington looking to put a little bit of pressure on the leaders, St Helens, Wigan, and of course the Leeds Rhinos. Bradford, is this the moment, is this the game that'll resurrect their season? There's still a long way to go in this one, but they lead by 10 points to 0, and they're doing everything that Lee Beattie has asked of them. Butterworth then, Howard on a half to Wilson. Oliver Wilson down the middle channel up to the Bradford 20. Turned on his back, and he's going to be rolled over. That'll allow Warrington to have a little bit of extra room in defence. And here goes Rhys Butterworth. Butterworth down the middle, finds the support there with Fletcher. And Fletcher's going to be brought down 8 shy of the halfway line. Butterworth to Mills. Mills is going to kick early in the count, looking to get a little bit of gain over Joe Edge. But that's great positioning from Joe Edge. And Joe Edge is going to be brought down by Butterworth and Mills just outside the Warrington 20. So Warrington back in possession. We've had 16 minutes gone here on Bulls TV and Bulls Live, and Warrington looking to show a little bit of response here. What can they do? He's going to go through the second row forward. Lewis Johnson. Johnson's brought down 10 shy of halfway. It's going to be picked up by Elliot Winley. Winley goes scampering out of dummy half up to halfway, but he can't get past Hodgson and Wilson in a 2-man tackle. He's on the halfway line, centre of the field. It's going to go to the scrum half, Richie Westwood. Westwood along the line. He's going to give it there to Lewis Johnson. Johnson's going to be wrapped up once again, turning the tackle. Last tackle says referee Worsley, dressed in black this afternoon. And the kick coming out of dummy half from Jamie Abraham, and that took a little deflection off of Rhys Butterworth. And Rhys Butterworth has recovered the ball. And Warrington, they're going to concede their second penalty of the match for being offside inside the 10. So just 3 penalties inside the opening 17 minutes here at Odsal, and it is Bradford Bulls 10, Warrington Wolves 0. And the kick to touch on the far stand side, we'll see the Bradford Bulls 35 metres out from that Warrington Wolves try line. It's going to be tapped there by Mills. Mills to Fletcher, and Fletcher, the skipper for the Bulls, leading by example, carries Bradford just outside the 20. They're going to switch the play on the narrow stand side, and it's going to go out from Mills. Mills to Staunton. Barry Staunton gets to his feet and plays the ball inside the 10. It goes now from Mills to Fletcher. Fletcher finds the offload in the tackle to Wilson. Oliver Wilson's brought down, 5 away from the line. Butterworth out of dummy half. Rhys Butterworth, has he got a 3rd try for the Bradford Bulls? The referee puts whistle to lips. He's going to indicate Rhys Butterworth has knocked the ball on over the line in the act of scoring. And with 18 minutes gone here at Odsal, the score remains the Bradford Bulls 10, the Warrington Wolves 0 on Bulls Live Bulls TV. Ryan Butterworth on 10 minutes, and that was backed up 2 minutes later by Elliot Culling. So, bit of a low scoring game here from the young Bulls, and it's got to be said, when we spoke to Lee Beattie and Tom during the week, he had a couple of hard decisions to make. Murphy Smith, who we can remember at Dudley Hill, 16-year-old on his debut, last grass match winner against St Helens. He has unfortunately lost his place this afternoon to the returning Ryan Leadbeater, but as we've said, he's only 16 and he'll certainly look to come back when the chance and the opportunity arise later on in the season. But really impressed with Kobe Green and Rowan Mills out there in the halves. They're really marshalling this Bulls defensive line, and Bradford now are defending on their own 30 as Warrington via Jacob Chamberlain are brought down on the last tackle. 15 metres inside the Bradford half. It's going to go to Richie Westwood. Westwood, bit of a wobbler towards Leadbeater. Leadbeater takes it, both palms on the ball, and he's going to be brought down 15 out from his own try line. So Bradford back in possession. Just shy of 20 minutes gone here at Odsal. And once again, the Bulls will come from deep. And as we said, they're not afraid of this Warrington Wolves defensive line. Butterworth had a dummy half to Hodgson. Hodgson just goes direct down at the pill. And there's a big collision there from Evan Hodgson. Butterworth to Fletcher. Fletcher to Mills on the inside. It nearly come up for Rowan Mills. Brought down just shy of the halfway line as it goes from Fletcher. Fletcher. Bit of a forward pass there, picked up by the officials towards Ryan Leadbeater on the far stand side, and a little bit of pushing and shoving. The referee gets involved. It's come to know it'll be a scrum head and feet to Warrington, 8 metres shy of halfway. That's only Bradford's second error in the opening 20 minutes, because the clock says exactly 20 minutes gone. It is Bulls Live, Bulls TV, and it is the Bradford Bulls 10, Warrington Wolves no score. And as we've already mentioned, just prior to this game, we're in the club shop, and it was great to see the supporters queuing out the door. A lot of demand for the tickets tomorrow at Doncaster, and if anyone listening and watching this game back, as we said, the top two meet at the Keep tomorrow. It is going to be an absolute ripper. Dry but cool conditions here at Odsal. So from the scrum, Warrington going down that middle channel. Jordan Olmes wrapped up there by Hodgson and Wilson. 19 minutes to go to half time. Bulls 10, Wolves 0. Here goes the prop forward Jack Wright trying to punch a hole through these Bradford defenders. It goes out to Westwood. Westwood along the line to H, and Joe H is going to be wrapped up in a free-man tackle. A loud cry of held from the referee. Was just about to put whistle to lips, but Warrington playing the advantage, and they're 12 out. 20 in from the far stand side, inside the 20 on the last tackle. They're going to run it on the power play, but Kobe Green, ball and all tackle there on Jamie Abraham, and Jamie Abraham is brought down 5 shy of the line. So Kobe Green is doing it both in defence and attack. Here at Odsal, it remains Bradford Bulls 10, Warrington Wolves 0. So Bradford just moving the ball out of the half, down the middle channel, as Lee Beattie has called on Lightower, Foster, Vasnes and Berry to begin their warm-up on the touchline. Bradford are going to be awarded their third penalty of the afternoon. Hands in at the ruck is the call from referee Worsley, and that will not be pleasing the Warrington Wolves head coach. As Bradford find touch to shy halfway, Stevenson. Elliot Cullen's going to tap it, and Elliot Cullen goes in there at the side. And Elliot Cullen takes it up to the Warrington 40, so Bradford, they're going to have a full set inside the Warrington half. Butterworth to Akanga. Akanga still going forward is Lawrence Akanga, and Akanga's now turned on his back. The 25 out from the Warrington line. Butterworth to Wilson, Wilson to Green, Green to Mills. Mills tries to show and go. He's still got ball in hand. Rowan Mills is going to go on that left-hand edge, looking for distribution, finds Bradley Gallagher. Gallagher straights up, and Gallagher's going to be brought down just outside the Warrington 10. It goes from Butterworth to Hodgson. Hodgson down the middle now to Wilson. Bradford 5 metres shy of that Warrington line. Hunting try number 3. Green. Boomerang pass out to Cullen. Elliot Cullen for the corner. Gets it to Ryan Leadbeater. Leadbeater pass on the inside. Alex Stevenson! What a try from the Bradford Bulls! They're entertainers. They kept the ball alive, and it is now 14 points to 0. Alex Stevenson. .23.5 minutes gone on the clock, and Alex Stevenson will attempt the conversion himself. This has been one of those performances you feel when everything that Lee Beattie has worked on in both the post and pre-season, everything clicking together. And for those listening and watching back on Bulls TV, we saw what the Bulls were capable of in that last home victory when they played at Dudley Hill, when they defeated the league leaders St Helens, and when they went to St Helens in the pre-season and come up with an absolutely fantastic 36-16 result. Stevenson then 10 metres in from touch, 20 away from the posts. A difficult assignment, but Stevenson, he's just put it to the right hand side. So he can't convert his try, and the score remains on Bulls TV, Bulls Live here at Odsal. A 12 noon kickoff. Bradford Bulls leading Warrington Wolves by 14 points to nil. 16 minutes to go to half time. Stevenson, the latest addition to the Bulls score sheet. So Butterworth, Culling and Stevenson, the try scorers in what has been a fairly positive first half here at Odsal Stadium for the young Bradford Bulls. We're back underway via the boot of Richie Westwood. Westwood's kick's going to bounce over the head and shoulders of Rowan Mills, but Evan Hodgson's behind him, and Evan Hodgson doing what Evan Hodgson does, just carries the ball in tenaciously, fearlessly towards those blue-shirted Warrington Wolves defenders. Bradford 25 shy of halfway, just to the right of centre field as they move up with Fletcher to Green. Green has lost the ball there, but I think the referee's going to say high tackle from Jordan Olmes, and Jordan Olmes has just gone high there on Kobe Green. So they're losing a little bit of discipline here at the Warrington Wolves. They've conceded the last 4 penalties, and Rowan Mills, a booming kick to touch, will carry the Bulls 5 inside the Warrington Wolves half. So Bulls 14, Wolves 0, 14 minutes to go to half time as Gallagher to Mills. Mills to Hodgson. Hodgson wrapped up. Here goes Butterworth to Fletcher to Green. Little knock on there as Oliver Wilson and Fletcher lost a little bit of miscommunication, and the referee puts whistle to lips and he'll say scrum, head and feed to the Warrington Wolves. It's getting a little bit chilly here. Bradford's 3rd error in this first half, and the referee is just going to stop the clock because Warrington were just taking a little bit of an ace to get back in the scrum, but he's now going to say time back on, and with 13 and a half minutes to go to half time, Lee Beattie will be really pleased that the Bradford line hasn't been breached thus far. Warrington Kanga, Oliver Wilson, the 2 Bradford players in defence, bringing down Tyler Brown there. And on the halfway line, it's going to be Lewis Johnson. Johnson gets to his feet, plays the ball, it's going to go down the middle with a loose forward. Ellis Robson, Robson's found the support of Jack Wright. Wright's brought down by Evan Hodgson, and Evan Hodgson's just been penalised for laying on in the tackle. A little bit too long there, so 4-2 the count, still in favour of the Bulls, but they're going to have to do a full set of 6 defending their own line here, as it's going to be tapped by Jack Wilson. Jack Wilson for the Wolves. Turned over by Reece Butterworth out of dummy half. It's going to go from Westwood. Westwood to Abraham. Abraham's brought down by Oliver Wilson just to the right hand side of centre field, and Warrington, the 5 out from the Bradford line, and they're just too shy now after that little offload. Kobe Green coming in, and Warrington are trying to pinch one at dummy half, but Elliot Wingley is going to be pushed back in the field to play. Warrington 2 metres out from the Bradford line. The kick comes in from Abraham, and Alex Stevenson on his haunches dives forward and recovers the loose ball. So Bradford, a good solid defensive set there. They were looking a little bit shaky when they started to allow Warrington to offload in the tackle, but Lee Beattie will be relatively pleased with what he's seen thus far. 11 and a half minutes to go to half time. We've just seen Keelan Foster introduced to the action as Evan Hodgson leaves the field, and Foster's first carry of the match is going to be 10 shy of the halfway line. Butterworth to Stevenson, and Stevenson's got loose hands and he throws the ball forward A little bit frustration there from the young fullback holding his right arm up there, and it will be scrum. Head and feed to Warrington. They are 8 metres inside the Bradford half. So as we said, 11 minutes to go to half time. It's still Bulls 14, Wolves 0. Tries from Butterworth, Cullen and Stevenson. Warrington over on that right hand edge. Henry Collins has ball in hand. He's wrapped up immediately by Mills and Staunton. Also Fletcher out there still doing a captain's knock. It's going to go from Wingley to Wright, and Wright's wrapped up on the second tackle, 25 out from that Bradford line. They're going to go on the short stand side as it goes to Lewis Johnson. Johnson's twisting and turning, but he's wrapped up. Bradford don't want to concede any penalties here. 10 minutes to go to half time as they front up once again. This is going to be Jack Wilson wearing 15. He's brought down just outside the Bradford 10 on the fourth tackle. Windley in at dummy half to Abraham. Abraham, ball in hand, looks for the support. He's going to find Olmes, and Jordan Olmes is going to be wrapped up there by Akanga, and that is the last tackle. They've extinguished their set of 6. It's going to go down the middle with Jack Wright. Jack Wright offloading the ball. Warrington on the power play, but Abraham's pass found Ellis Robson, the loose forward for the Wolves, and he was wrapped up 5 away from the Bradford line. So Bradford, they will have the ball. We've got 9.5 minutes to go to half time, and still a lot of resilience in defence for Lee Beattie's side this afternoon as Keelan Foster takes the tackle just outside the 10. We're about to see Cameron Berry come on the field. Second interchange for Lee Beattie's side, and it's going to be Cameron Berry for Reece Butterworth. So Reece Butterworth's done a solid 31.5 minutes. Here goes Keelan Foster, second carry in this set. 20 shy of halfway, it goes to Milnes. Milnes to Staunton on that left edge, and Barry Staunton's going to be wrapped up. So Bradford finding it a little bit tougher on this set of 6 as Warrington's defence trying to get them back in this game. Flat pass out of dummy half, missed by the officials. Last tackle, says referee Worsley. It goes from Berry. Berry at dummy half, who's just come off for Butterworth to Milnes. Milnes drills one along the floor, picked up by Joe Edge, and Joe Edge is going to be wrapped up 15 shy of halfway. 5 in from that far stand side. And it's going to go out of dummy half to Lewis Hall, and Lewis Hall is going to not get past the huge frame there of Keelan Foster and Jake Lightowler. And I think it was Jake Lightowler wearing 16 for the Bulls who's just come on the field, who tipped the Warrington player, and it's just getting a little bit ugly as the boys come together, and the referee, loud shrill blasts of the whistle. And that certainly got the supporters in the main stand a little bit excited on the edge, and he's got a bit of a sorting out to do here. Both touches on the field. He will stop the clock with 8 minutes to go to half time. And the referee has a big decision to make here. What action does he take, if any, on Jake Lightowler, who's just come on the field? He's looking for the back pocket. And we're about to see somebody leaving the field. He's gone in the back pocket. He's clearly itching to get the card out. This doesn't look good for Jake Lightowler. Back pocket. He's calling number 16. Jake Lightowler. It's a red card. Sensational scenes here at Odsal Stadium. Jake Lightowler has been sent from the field of play for what looked to be an ugly tip. But the referee has not finished yet. He's going to speak to the Warrington player, and Warrington are going to find themselves down to 12 men as one of their players has been sent to the sin bin. Difficult to see from here. We'll wait to see until he turns around, but both sides down to 12. Bradford down to 12 for the remainder. Warrington down to 12 for just 10 minutes, and the referee has another yellow card out for the Bulls, so the Bulls down to 11. Wow. The referee, it didn't look to be that ugly, it must be said, but the Bradford Bulls down to 11 men here at Odsal, and as we've just seen there, Jake Lightower has been sent off from the field of play. And also joining him in the sin bin, Vinus Vasnes, who's just only come on the field, was it? Or is it Ryan Ledbetter? I think it's Ryan Butterworth. Difficult to tell, but it was Ryan Butterworth who was sin bin. So Vinus Vasnes warming up. Great to see Vitas back out there after 4 months off through injury, but it's all happening here at Odsal. It was Jake Lightower's tip, as we said. It caused the pandemonium, and Warrington 20 out from the Bradford line now. They have a numerical advantage as Abraham brought down 10 out, 10 to the right hand side of the uprights. We've got 7 minutes remaining to half time. Can the Bulls hold on? 14-0 their lead. It goes to Westwood. Westwood, a forward pass there to Cole Oakley. And Cole Oakley scores a try for Warrington, but it will be rubbed out by the referee. So, penalty count 4-3. And we'll have to make sense of all the players who've left the field at half time. But definitely Bradford down to 11, sent off Jake Lightower, who'd only just come on the field, and joining him in the bin was Ryan Butterworth. So it's currently 11 versus 12 here at Odsal, and it's got to be said, there hasn't been any real malicious intent. I mean, it was more a poor time tackle, but as we said, player protection paramount. Referee deemed a red card, and then the players that ran in and threw a couple of punches, he had to send them to the sin bin. But as we said, before that incident, there'd been no real indication that the game was heading down that ugly path. There goes Cameron Berry out of dummy half. Fletcher's caught across the face. Referee says play on, and that Fletcher goes up over halfway for the Bulls. Brought down 45 out from the Warrington line on tackle number 4. Berry in at dummy half to rein to Akanga. Akanga's going to be brought down 15 metres inside the Warrington half, and that'll be the 50 last tackle. 4.5 minutes to go to half time for the Bulls to survive. It goes to Mills. Mills crossfield kick, looking for Bradley Gallagher, and the referee's going to say Bradley Gallagher inside the 10. So the penalty count, 4 penalties apiece now. We've had 8 in total, and that will see Warrington go further up the field. Older and Wiser just joining us on the Mixlr app on the Bulls Live this afternoon. Don't forget you can watch the game back potentially tomorrow. It might be Monday, but it will be available on Bulls TV within the next 48 hours. Warrington 15 inside the Bradford half. They're hunting their first points just before half time to give themselves a little bit of a morale booster. Jack Wright, the big prop forward for the Wolves, is brought down by Keelan Foster and he's held at the tackle. So the last 4 penalties have gone against the Bulls. It's 5-4 now, and more pressure for the Bulls to defend as Matt Fletcher brings down number 13 Ellis Robson, 10 shy of the Bradford line. It's going to go out to Westwood. Westwood to the fullback, Joe Edge. Can he get the ball down? No, he can't. He's wrestled back to the 10. Superb defence once again. Corby Green. Warrington moving the ball lateral from this main stand side into centre field. The 5 away underneath the Bradford post. Something first points. It goes to Richie Westwood. Westwood's kick is dealt with by Alex Stevenson, and referee says held to Alex Stevenson, and Warrington couldn't resist. They push the Bulls fullback into his own goal area, and they will concede their 5th penalty of the afternoon, and a crucial penalty it must be said, because that penalty will now stop the run of 4 penalties on the bounce that the Bulls had conceded. So that'll take the Bulls off the team warning for the time being. We've got 2.5 minutes to go here at Odsal. Bulls Live, Bulls TV, Mick Leddell calling the action here, and what a great first half it's been. 3 fantastic tries from the Bulls, Butterworth, Cullen and Stevenson, and we've also seen 3 players sent from the field of play. Canberra out of dummy half to Hodson, who's come back on. Hodson to Foster, and Foster's brought down 5 inside the Warrington half. Bradford on the Warrington 45. They're going to move the ball on that left hand edge via Mills. Mills to Staunton. Staunton looking to offload the ball in the tackle, decides to play it. Staunton to Berry. Berry to Mills. Mills to Hodson. Hodson like the express train down the middle. The ball's gone backwards in the tackle, picked up by Mills. Mills to Staunton, and Matty Staunton's going to find the support of Bradley Gallagher on that left hand edge. Gallagher gives it back down the middle to Berry, and Cam Berry's going to front up, and he's just going to penetrate that Warrington 20 on the 5th and last tackle. Stevenson at dummy half to Mills. Mills distills one into touch. Excellent game management there from Rowan Mills. He knows that will take time off the clock. We've got 90 seconds going on the stopwatch remaining in this first half, plus any additional time deemed necessary by the referee, Mr. Worsley. But it is the Bradford Bulls 14, Warrington Wolves 0 at Odsal Stadium. It is round 9 of the Under-19s Academy Championship, and a win for the Bradford Bulls will take them up to 8th in the table. As we said, Warrington come here on the back of a 3-game winning run and currently 4th in the table. So far so good for Lee Beattie's side. 40 seconds remaining on the stopwatch. Stevenson racing into that Warrington Wolves attacking line. The defensive line speed of the Bulls this afternoon really has been a pleasure to watch. And Cole Oakley there, he can't get any headroom because he's immediately smothered there by Keelan Foster and Cameron Berry. And once again, Evan Hodson just racing out of that Bulls defensive line like an F1 race car. Warrington can't get any momentum in this game, but they look to spread the ball. It goes out to Hall. Hall to Collins. Collins is away on this maidstand side. Stevenson with the ankle tap, and Collins is wrapped up on the Bradford 20. It's a head knock. He's collided there with Evan Hodson, and the referee will stop the clock with 10 seconds remaining at Odsal. And a little bit of a concerning injury there to Henry Collins. And just as I mentioned that Warrington, they weren't getting any headway down the middle, the scrum half Richie Westwood linking with the fullback Joe Edge, and they went on this Bulls left edge down the main stand side with Henry Collins and Alex Stevenson. A vital ankle tap, and Evan Hodson just getting checked there by the Bradford Bulls physio and doctor, and so too Henry Collins by the Warrington Wolves medical staff, although the touch judge has just come on the field. I think he's just coming to make sure everything is okay, not to report any foul play. But as we mentioned, it is Bulls Live, Bulls TV, and don't forget next Friday the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you for the Star Wars fans listening and watching back. It is the Bradford Bulls Masquerade Ball. As always, check the Bradford Bulls website, but it is for charity. There will be casino tables, the players will be there, there's a magician, and yours truly might be spinning a few tunes over drinks on the dance floor a little bit later on. But the referee happy that Henry Collins is good to proceed. So Collins on the Bradford 20 with 10 seconds remaining on the stopwatch, plus any added on time by the referee. Just making sure everything is good to go. He'll blow time back on. And Warrington 20 away from the Bulls line. Howard only half there from Wingley. Wingley to Olmes. Olmes wrapped up by Akanga and Hodson. Last tackle for the Wolves. Westwood kick behind the Bulls line. Ryan Leadbeater. Superb positioning. And Ryan Leadbeater is going to be dumped on his backside. 5 out from his own try line, and the Bulls will just look to run down time here. Let's not forget they've had Jake Livetowler sent from the field, and they've also got Ryan Butterworth in the bin. 11 versus 12 as the first half comes to a climax here at Odsal. 15 shy halfway, Foster to his feet, Berry to Mills. Rowan Mills trying to dart and pirouette his way past the Wolves defence. Last tackle, says the referee, and that will be half time. So right on cue, it is half time here at Odsal Stadium. Bradford Bulls 14, Warrington Wolves 0. Food for thought for Mark Dunning and Lee Beattie as they head down the tunnel. Tries from Ryan Butterworth, Elliot Cullen and Alex Stevenson. Stevenson won from fingertips with the boot, but a huge turning point happened 6 minutes before the interval. Jake Lightowler, who just come on the field, he was sent off for a tip on the Warrington centre, and then all hell let loose. There were punches thrown, and it resulted in a Warrington player singing 10. We've not been able to identify him yet, and also Ryan Butterworth. So Warrington just emerging from the dressing rooms. As we said, they will have the man advantage for the full 40 minutes of the second half, and as we said, Bradford 14 points to 0 to the good. As Evan Hodgson leads out the Bulls for the start of the second half. So quickly go through the Bulls side and line up once again for those who are potentially just joining us. Fullback Alex Stevenson, Winfrey Quarterline, Ryan Leadbeater, Elliot Cullen, Bradley Gallagher and Ryan Butterworth. The halves, Rowan Milnes, Kobe Green. Front row forwards, Evan Hodgson, Reece Butterworth, Oliver Wilson. The back row was Matty Staunton, Lawrence Akanga and Matt Fletcher. And on the interchange bench, Keelan Foster, Vidas Vaznis and Cam Berry. Jake Lightowler was played approximately about 30 seconds of this match before he was sent off for a dangerous spear tackle, tip tackle, whichever way you want to call it. Didn't look malicious, just looked a little bit ill-timed. So back underway here at Odsal. Warrington, they'll have first use of the ball and they'll move it towards this main stand side. Let's see what the impact they can make with Bradford down to 12 men. Both sides, incidentally, they've still got a player in the sin bin for the opening 3 minutes of the second half. So we'll come back to Bulls Live, Bulls TV. Warrington 5 shy of halfway over on the far stand side. They move it down the middle with Westwood. Westwood gives it to Wright, and Jack Wright is upended there by Evan Hodgson and Keelan Foster in defence. So fourth tackle gone. Warrington floored it towards this main stand side, and it will be the last tackle. Rowan Milnes with the ball and no tackle on Jamie Abraham. Kick comes in on the last from Westwood. Westwood's going to turn around Stevenson. Stevenson happy to let that one go into touch. So as we said, the clock will be against Warrington in this second half, and so too the scoreboard, but there's still a long way to go in this one. 39 minutes remaining, 41 gone, and I'll just read out the Warrington Wolves lineup for those watching and joining us late. Joe Edge at fullback, Winfrey Quarterline, Lewis Hall, Joe Pilling, Cole Oakley, Henry Collins. The halves for the Wolves, Jamie Abraham and Richie Westwood. The front row forwards, Jacob Chamberlain, Elliot Winley and Jack Wright. Tyler Brown, Lewis Johnson and Ellis Robson. The back row, and on the interchange bench, Patrick Anglin, Jack Wilson, Jordan Almes and Lee Dias. So, from the scrum, Keelan Foster has it for the Bulls, just to the right of centre field, and we're about to see the two players who were sent to the sin bin come on the field, and it was Lewis Hall for the Wolves, and of course Ryan Butterworth for the Bradford Bulls. And I just sending just sensing that Warrington, they really do need a score next here. Kobe Green along the line to Foster. Last tackle for the Wolves. Good solid defensive set here for the Wolves. Canberry to Green. Was Green caught late? Referee looks back. Green back up to his feet. Happy to let play continue. Kobe Green races into that Bulls defensive line. And the fullback for the Warrington Wolves, Joe Edge, will carry the ball 12 shy of the halfway line. So, Warrington inching closer towards the halfway line on a fresh set of 6. We're in centre field. Lewis Hall, who's just come back on the field, is going to wrap up by Hodgson and Akanga. Kobe Green also out there once again in defence, working overtime. Milnes comes in at the side, and Canberra there in that defensive situation. Loose forward. Ellis Robson to Jack Wilson. Jack Wilson wrapped up, 20 out from the Bradford line. On the last tackle here at Odsal. They're going on the power play once again. They're going to chance their arm out wide. And the ball is popped out of the tackle. Play on is the call, says the referee. But Evan Hodgson comes up lucky. And young Joe Pill in there. 5 out from the Bradford line. He was monstered by Evan Hodgson, who will be using some of his first team experience over the past 12 months there to his advantage. So Bradford, via Ryan Butterworth, 10 out from their own line. This is where you earn your money. There's Rowan Milnes. Stood in the tackle, down on his knees, quick play the ball. Canberry down the middle to Hodgson. Hodgson punching a hole, 15 shy halfway here for the Bulls. 45 minutes gone in this one, 35 remain, 14-0 the Bulls lead. Green to Stevenson. Stevenson looking sharp and electric, and he's brought down on the 4th tackle. 5 away from the halfway line, 10 in from the far stand side. Green down the middle to Foster. Foster wrapped up there. Last tackle for the Bulls. They're on halfway. It's going to go back to Milnes. Milnes with the left boot. Got a bit of spin on it. There's going to be a little bit of pressure there, and Lewis Hall is flattened there by Ryan Butterworth. And Ryan Butterworth's hurt him, and immediately there Bradley Gallagher turns around and gives Ryan Butterworth a pat on the back, and no love lost there between the two players in the first half, who were sent to the sin bin by the referee, Mr. Callum Worsley, and it looks to be in a little bit of pain there, does Lewis Hall. And Rowan Milnes, great tactical play there, looking to put the young Warrington winger under pressure. Great take, it must be said, by Lewis Hall, but unfortunately when you've got Ryan Butterworth bearing down on your wing, and immediately just slammed him down, perfectly legal. It was just the ferocity of the challenge, and the young Warrington winger just landed on his back, and a little bit of perhaps concussion to the head there, just getting the head chest by the Warrington physio. But it is Warrington Wolves 0, Bradford Bulls 14, and the referee has hold up play here. And don't forget, as we said, at 2 o'clock here at Odsal this afternoon, we've got the big one. We've got Clayton against Queensbury, and then at 4 o'clock it is Wibsey against White. It is showcasing the very best of amateur rugby league in Bradford, and a lot of support for the community game. We'll see a big crowd descend here at Odsal this afternoon. So time back on. Lewis Hall got the okay from the touch judge and referee, and he'll get to his feet and he'll play the ball. Warrington down the middle. Once again, giving it out to Westwood. Westwood to Edge. Edge over on that left-hand side to Collins. Collins can't get past Elliot Cullen, and Elliot Cullen wraps him up along with Kobe Green, and he's brought down 2 shy halfway. Warrington looking for some momentum down the middle. Westwood, sharp pass there. It goes to Edge. Joe Edge along the line. He's going to go to Haggling back to Edge. Edge can't get past Canberry and Matt Staunton. Foster comes in as the 3rd man, and that is the 4th tackle done for the Warrington Wolves. 6 minutes gone at the start of this second half. No change to the half-time scoreboard. Warrington 30 out from the Bradford line in front of the South Bank side. On the last tackle, Jamie Abraham puts boot to ball. It's going to come down, palm backwards. Abraham towards the corner, and Warrington, they have got their first points of the afternoon. The referee looks to the touch judge, points the finger, and Jamie Abraham's kick there caused a little bit of pressure there for Bradley Gallagher and Ryan Butterworth. It was palmed back by Padraig Anglin, and the recipient, the grateful recipient, Jamie Abraham, picked it up, and he's touched down in the corner. So this one not over by a long shot on Bulls Live and Bulls TV. It is Bradford Bulls 14, the Warrington Wolves 4, and the kick will come from this main stand corner. Certainly don't divert your ears away from this one. And it will be the Warrington Wolves scrum half. Westwood to attempt the conversion attempt. So 14 points to 4. 46 minutes on the clock. So Abraham, is that the lifeline that the Warrington Wolves needed? Westwood from the touchline, it's hit the left hand upright and waved away. So the score remains Bradford Bulls 14, Warrington Wolves 4 here at Odsal. It's just a little bit of wind, but it was a difficult touchline conversion attempt, and still the Bulls. Just 3 errors all match in this 11th versus 4th encounter at Odsal. Great entertainment, it must be said. Warrington then. On the restart, Jack Wilson. Brought down there by Milnes and Gallagher. Goes to Wright. And Jack Wright's wrapped up in a 2-man tackle. Akanga and Green. Out of dummy half from Wingley. Wingley's lost the ball, but the referee's going to say it was stolen. 2 in the tackle. So first penalty at the start of the second half. It's gone to the Wolves. 49 minutes gone, 31 remain, and Bradford they're going to have to defend. And as we said, is this where Warrington can take full advantage of that numerical advantage? As we said, Jake Lightower sent off in the 34th minute of the first half. Warrington, 20 out from the Bradford line, it goes to Westwood, Westwood along the line to Abraham, Abraham, the try scorer for the Wolves, wrapped up there by Berry and Staunton. He's brought down 20 metres to the right hand side of the upright. Out of dummy half it's going to go now with Wilson. Jack Wilson for the Wolves is wrapped up, referee's going to stop the clock because there's a second ball on the field. Ryan Leadbeater, fast hand side, throws it towards the ball girl. And the referee will say time back on Warrington. A tackle remaining in this set as it goes out to Westwood. Bit of miscommunication there from the Wolves. The ball is loose on the floor and the referee is going to say penalty to Warrington, because while the ball was kicked by Elliot Culling originally, one of the Bradford players has taken a Warrington player off the ball. So more pressure here for the young Bulls to absorb as Jack Wright's going to tap in and go. And he's brought down 10 metres out from the Bradford line, 10 to the left hand side of the post, in front of the South Bank stand here. Warrington in the primrose and blue, looking to penetrate the Bulls' defence and get a second try. The trail by 10 points, 14 points to 4 as it goes to Westwood. Westwood, Abraham to Edge. Edge is going to be brought down there by Rowan Milnes and Maddie Staunton. Great defence from the Bradford Bulls. Abraham in a dummy half. It's going to go to Lewis Johnson. Johnson to Wilson. Wilson's wrapped up there by Akanga. Quick play the ball. It's going to go from Wingley. Wingley to Abraham. Abraham out to Westwood. Westwood floats it out. Ryan Leadbeater. Great tackle by Ryan Leadbeater. And Alex Stevenson comes in for good measure. The 5 out over on the far stand side. Last tackle, it goes back to the 10. Westwood, the kick comes in, and there's a little knock on there from Kobe Green, and it will be more pressure for the Bulls to absorb. It's a 4th error, and what a time to come up with it. And Warrington, they know they're against the scoreboard on the clock, and the referee will call time off with 28 minutes remaining here at Odsal, and a great moment about to unfold here because Vidas Vazny's wearing 15 is about to come on the field for Lee Beattie's side. He's had quite a few setbacks in the pre-season. He's not played since the back end of last season when he suffered an injury, and Vidas Vazny will be looking to make up for lost time. He's not quite on the field from this scrum. They'll be coming on shortly. Warrington over on this right hand edge as Joe Edge goes past Gallagher, but he can't go past Milnes. Tackle number 1 for the Wolves. 10 metres out. It goes to Abraham. He's been touched by Ryan Butterworth. It's been knocked towards the Bradford line. Warrington regather. It will be the 0 tackle, so it's a 4th set of 6 now. The Bulls are going to have to defend as Jack Wilson is going to be brought down by Evan Hodson over the Bulls line, but he can't get the ball down. He's held up. He'll go back to the 10. Evan Hodson really marshalling and setting that defensive stall out for the Bulls. Abraham shows the dummy. The hop, the skip, the jump. Out wide it goes. Warrington looking to cross on that left-hand edge. Can he get it down? Cole Oakley, a metre shy of the line. Once again, great defence here from the Bulls. It goes from Westwood to Robson to Wright, the big prop forward. Wright offloads the ball back to Robson out wide to Johnson. Johnson's lost the ball. It's picked up by Ryan Butterworth. Here goes Ryan Butterworth upfield. Quick play the ball. The Bulls have defended 4 sets of 6, and here goes Brad Gallagher now. And Gallagher will look to calm things down, 15 shy of the halfway line, and Bradford awarded a very relieving penalty, because that will really hurt the Warrington Wolves after doing all that defence, after doing all that attack. They could have penetrated this redoubtable Bulls defence, and now they've conceded a crucial penalty, and that will see the Bulls inside the Warrington half, although the referee has just stopped the clock because there's a little bit of a head knock in centre field. Roland Mills just going to tie his bootlace up and just checking on Evan Hodson, who's just down there with Aaron Scholes. Gets the high five, gets the pat on the back, takes a bit of water in. Lawrence Akanga comes off for Vidas Fasnes, and as we said, Lee Beattie keen to give him an opportunity. He had to make sure he got the all clear from the Bulls doctor, the Bulls physio, and let's see what Vitas can do. 4 months in the waiting, and penalty count now, Warrington 7, Bradford 6. Rowan Mills then, fans touch, as we said, Bradford got a 4 set of 6 inside this Warrington Wolves half. The only change from half time is a try from Jamie Abraham in the 46th minute. 54 minutes gone, 26 to go. Bradford hunting a 4th try. Berry out of dummy half to Mills to Hodson. Hodson along the line to Green to Stevenson in the 20 towards the 10, wrapped up by 3 Warrington defenders. And Bradford, remember, a man down. They're doing it hard. They lead by 10. They're looking to add more points to the score. It goes from Green to Hodson. Hodson offloads the ball in the tackle. It goes back to Green. Kobe Green out wide. Ryan Butterworth over the line, but he drops the ball in the act of scoring. The referee says no try, and the Bulls, they're going to have to race back to the 30 because Warrington are going to take a quick tap, and Lewis Hall is brought down 20 shy of halfway. They're going to move it over on that left hand edge, and that is going to be Cole Oakley. Oakley wrapped up on tackle number 1. You certainly can't take your eyes or ears away from this one. Bulls Live, Bulls TV, Bradford 14, Warrington 4. A real gripper of an Academy under-19s fixture here at Odsal. Wright has offloaded the ball in the tackle. It's gone back to Wingley, and the Warrington Wolves scrum half is going to be wrapped up 42 metres away from the Bradford line. A double substitution, a double interchange for Warrington, as we're going to see Lee Dias come on the field along with Jordan Olmes, and here goes Westwood for the Wolves. Hodson brings him down. 5 out from the Bradford line, and Evan Hodson has been penalised for laying on in the tackle. 8-6 the count now. We've had 14 penalties at Warrington. You suspect they're going to get the second wind. They've taken a lot of energy out of this Bulls defensive line, but still Warrington struggling to breach it. It's going to go from Wingley to Westwood to Dias, who's just come on the field. Lee Dias, he's held up over the line, suffocating defence from the Bradford Bulls, and Dias will go back to the Warrington 10. 10 metres out, they come on this main stand side, it goes from Abraham to Edge. Edge is going to be brought down there by Butterworth and Milnes, and that is a two-man tackle. Referee says held, the 5 out from the Bradford line as it goes from Winley to Abraham to Dias wrapped up by Hodgson and Vasnes, and that is tackle number 3. 2 remaining here for the Wolves. Now or never. It goes out to Westwood. Westwood shows and goes. Warrington trying to penetrate on that left hand edge, and Lewis Johnson has come up with an error for the Wolves, and it will be a scrum on the 10, head and feet to Lee Beattie's side, although the referee is going to change his mind and he's going to say it was lost over the Bradford line. So Ryan Butterworth will tap it on the 20. We're approaching the hour mark here at Odsal. Bulls Live, Bulls TV, and it's Bradford Bulls 14, Warrington Wolves 4. Bradford down to 12 men. Jake Lightowler sent off. Butterworth back on for Canberra, and Butterworth, good distribution out of dummy half, good quick hands to Bradley Gallagher. Gallagher's brought down 5 shy of halfway. It goes from Butterworth to Staunton. Manny Staunton fronts up. Staunton inside the Warrington half, brought down just shy of the Warrington 40. 2 metres in from this main stand side. Butterworth at dummy half. It goes to Milnes. Milnes to Wilson. Wilson, the 2-8s collide there. And Wilson and Chamberlain, they'll enjoy that hit up. Butterworth out of dummy half, trying to attack those Warrington markers. To Staunton. Staunton along the line to Milnes. Milnes to Hodgson. And Hodgson really has been a highlight for Lee Beattie's side this afternoon. Last tackle, 35 out, Kobe Green, a high, hanging, testing kick, looking to put Joe Edge under pressure. Joe Edge takes it, but is immediately smothered by Cully and Leadbeater on that left-hand edge on the far stand side. So, 22 minutes remain here at Odsal. It has been an absolute ripper. Warrington. Lee Dias wrapped up there by Kobe Green, 12 metres shy of the halfway line. Ellis Robson down the middle. Robson is going to be brought down there by Vasnes, and Vitas Vasnes in communication and tandem there with Matty Staunton. Warrington on the halfway line. Cullen wraps up Johnson, but Johnson just manages to get it out the back door, and he's going to give it to Angling. Angling wraps up on the last tackle for the Wolves. 30 out from the Bradford line. It's going to go to Richie Westwood. Westwood looking to put Leadbeater under pressure. Leadbeater's lost the ball. It's been kicked dead there by Alex Stevenson. Goal line dropout coming up for the Bulls. The Wolves will have a repeat set, and we've got 19 minutes gone in this second half, and it's the first goal line dropout of the afternoon that the Warrington Wolves have forced the Bulls into, and the referee will stop the clock because Oliver Wilson is down in centre field affecting play. So just shy of the hour mark here at Odsal, and the Bulls hanging on a slender 10-point lead. It's 14 points to 4. So Oliver Wilson just going to be taken off the field there by Aaron Scholes, and talking to Michael Piper there. On will come Keelan Foster. Oliver Wilson will have to have the head concussion test. And the clock still stopped here at Odsal. Elliot Cullen just in a little bit of discomfort over on that left hand edge. He's got the all clear. So then, Bradford, another set of 6 to defend. The game, it's on a knife edge, it's on a tipping point, you feel. 20 and a half minutes remaining here at Odsal. We've got a full set to defend, full steam ahead from Chamberlain. The Wolves forward, wrapped up by Hodgson and Foster. Out of dummy half from Angling. Angling there to Brown. Brown wrapped up on the left hand edge. 2 tackles gone. Warrington just outside the 20. 3rd tackle comes in on Ellis Robson. They're now 12 shy of the Bradford line. Manny Staunton with a ball and all tackle. Angling out of dummy half. Misses out the forward right. Going to find the second row forward Dias. Dias wrapped up on the 3rd. Quick play the ball. Numbers on that left hand edge. It goes out to Edge. Edge. Wrapped up there by Butterworth. Last tackle, says referee Worsley. Warrington, they can't penetrate this Bulls defence. Richie Westwood, crossfield cake. It's taken there by Ryan Butterworth. And Ryan Butterworth was taken in the air. And the referee will give the Bulls a penalty. 8-7 the penalty count, exactly an hour gone. And it is Bulls Live and Bulls TV. It is Bradford Bulls 14, Warrington Wolves 4. If you're just joining us, tries from Butterworth, Cullen, Stevenson in that first half. And Stevenson 1 from 3 attempts in this second half. Despite being down to 12 men, they have defended heroically. Just a try from Jamie Abraham. 14-4. Can the young Bulls hold on for a memorable win? It will only be their third win of what has been a difficult season, but this win will move them up to 8th in the table as it goes to Staunton. Staunton. Referee said held, so Staunton will have to play the ball on the Warrington 40. Butterworth in there at dummy half. Just making sure Matthew Staunton plays it in the correct spot, which he does. Reece Butterworth to Mills. Mills to Foster. Foster's wrapped up, 10 inside the Warrington half. Butterworth gives the ball some zip to Mills. Mills to Green. Green to Vitas Vaznes. Vaznes wrapped up to the right of centre field. Quick play the ball back down the middle. It goes to Mills. Mills kick through for Ryan Butterworth. Butterworth can he get there? Ryan Butterworth regathers, and he will go and improve the position underneath the sticks. Excellent communication there. Rowan Mills and Ryan Butterworth. That could be the try that wins the game for the Bulls. 18 points to 4. The kick to come from in front. What a try from the Bradford Bulls. 18 minutes remaining on the clock, and they, at a crucial period in this game, they deliver a knockout blow to the Wolves. 18 points to 4. You'll have to wait and watch that one on the highlights reel. And what a try! His second of the afternoon, Ryan Butterworth, and that will please Bradford Bulls head coach John Keir, who I believe is here this afternoon after they had the captain's run. Alex Stevenson from in front of the Rue Lane terracing. This to give the Bulls a 3-score lead, which he will do. 20 points to 4, the lead by 16. This has really been a really strong performance from Lee Beattie's side. 20 points to 4. It's not over yet. Lee Beattie, Mark Dunning. There, bellowing the instructions. Watch the short kick-off. Watch the kick-off. And it will be Richie Westwood to get proceedings back underway. So Bulls Live, Bulls TV and Warrington, they go for a little bit short kick-off. It had a bit of a hang time there, but Rowan Mills was under it on his own 20-metre line, and he's brought down 25 shy of halfway. Ryan Butterworth heads into touch here. The Warrington defenders drag him over the line like a ragdoll, but the touch judge says there was a 4th man, and the penalty count is locked up at 8 penalties apiece now. Some of the Warrington players losing a little bit of ill discipline there, and we've got 16 minutes remaining here at Odsal. So 16 minutes to go for a famous victory against the Warrington Wolves. And let's not forget when Warrington played Bradford here at Odsal last season, they had players like Harvey Levette in their side. So, like I say, this is no weak Warrington side, the 4th in the table. And Bradford really coming of age. As Lee Beattie, he said, managing to recall Ledbeater, Gallagher, Vaznes and Berry. And now Warrington are really rattled because they conceded another penalty. So 2 quick penalties in succession. We'll see Bradford on the halfway line, which Mills will Fine touch, 30 away from that Warrington line, so Bradford potentially hunting a 5th try here, 30 out from the Warrington line. 15 minutes remaining, 65 gone here at Odsal. It's Bulls Live, Bulls TV, and it's Bradford Bulls 20, Warrington Wolves 4. Matty Staunton on tackle number 1, Butterworth in at the pocket at dummy half, along the line to Milnes, Milnes to Hodgson, Hodgson gets some rough treatment from Dyers, gives it to Green, Green back to Milnes, Milnes out the back door, great pass into Gallagher, and Gallagher's going to be wrapped up. 25 out from the Warrington line. Butterworth to Hodgson, Hodgson to Green, Green to Stevenson, Stevenson to Cullen on that right hand edge, Cullen brought down by Johnson and Westwood. 12 shy of the Warrington line. Butterworth goes himself to Ryan Leadbeater. Butterworth into touch, but it come off a Warrington hand. Bradford will get more pressure to apply on this Wolves line. We've got 14 minutes remaining now on the stop clock. As we say, famous victory. And let's not forget tomorrow's game, Doncaster against the Bulls at the Keepmoat. Should be a 3,000 plus crowd there. The Keepmoat really will be rocking, and it will be tough. Because as we said, Richard Hornside, top of the table, and they will command a lot of respect. So, Bradford, a full set, 10 away from the Warrington line. Green to Milnes, Milnes to Staunton. Staunton turned on his back, 5 away from the Warrington line. Butterworth in there at dummy half. To Foster. Foster tucks the ball up in his right arm, wrapped up in a 3-man tackle. Turned on his back, in front of the posts. And the referee's going to give a penalty to Warrington here for something that Keelan Foster's done after the tackle. And he's going to say, Keelan Foster, that he was being held in the tackle, but the referee's going to say Keelan Foster's lashed out. So that could be a bit of a momentum swinger. 9 penalties apiece here at Odsal. 13 minutes to go to half time, and the referee is going to call on the touch judge here, and he's just going to speak to Keelan Foster, and he's going to ask the Bradford skipper Evan Hodgson to come towards him, and this incident might be placed on report. The referee just going to be speaking to both Evan Hodgson and Keelan Foster. He's going to the back pocket here. He's got his notepad out. He's got his notepad and pencil. And I think he's going to place the incident on report here. So, referee Callum Worsley going to the back pocket then. You almost suspect there's a card coming out, but he's got his notebook out. So, he's just going to write down details of the incident, and that one will be reviewed. So, that incident on report. I'd be interested to have another look at that, because I didn't see anything wrong with it initially, but the penalty is to Warrington. So we've had 9 penalties apiece in Warrington. We're going to come back at the Bulls with 13 minutes remaining. And on tackle number 1, Warrington have spilled the ball in a 2-man tackle. And we've just seen the Warrington player who come up with the error, putting a push on Ryan Leadbeater, and the touch judge in again. And yeah, a little bit of handbags at dawn, a bit of pushing and shoving. And Leadbeater just going to get the message to Matt Dunning there, who has a quiet word in Evan Hodgson's ear on the main stand line. The referee gets advice from the touch judge. All good fun here. And I think the penalty is going to go to the Bulls here for the Warrington player pushing out the tackle. So Bradford potentially awarded their 10th penalty, which they are for the push. Great to see the young officials in the Academy Championship spotting things that their peers in League One do not. Rowan Milnes is going to find touch. 30 away from the Warrington line. We've had 68 minutes gone on the clock. 12 minutes remain here at Odsal Stadium. Coming up after this, Clayton against Queensbury, the battle of the villagers. So, Hodgson to Butterworth, Butterworth to Mills, Mills to Green, Green to Cullen on that right hand edge, beautiful cut-out pass, and here goes Elliot Cullen, 17 away from the Warrington line. He's brought down, and it's another penalty to the Bradford Bulls. The ball's been stolen, and the penalty count now getting a little bit silly. 11 penalties to 9, and Bradford will have ball in hand with Alex Stevenson. So it goes to Butterworth. I think Lee Bean is just going to get the message on to just tap it, show and go, keep the pressure on, run down the clock. Here goes Vasnes. Still going forward is Vitas. Still going on his back. 10 out from the Bradford line. Good first carry there. Setting the stall. Green, Mills to Staunton. Matty Staunton's going to be upended, and he's going to be brought down 2 metres shy of that Warrington Wolves try line. Butterworth's in there at dummy half. 20 points to 4, and it's another penalty to the Bradford Bulls. They've now had 12 penalties. Team warning. So the next penalty, Warrington will be down to 12 men. And we're going to see yet more cards. It goes from Mills to Vasnes. Vasnes back to Mills. Oh, Rowan Mills underneath the sticks. What an audacious dummy. Rowan Mills. Try number 5 for the Academy Championship season. And we saw him do it at Widnes. We saw him do it against St Helens, and he's done it again against the Warrington Wolves this afternoon, and that will be the game for the Bradford Bulls. 24 points to 4. The kick from in front. Take him out, Rowan Mills. Well, Robbie Hunter-Paul was famously known as the hot stepper. We might have to take that accolade away from RHP, and we're giving that to Rowan Mills, but he certainly did hot step his way past those Warrington Wolves defenders. And Alex Stevenson, he will attempt the conversion once again from in front. Bradford's 5th try. No mistake about it. Bulls Live, Bulls TV, Bradford Bulls 26. The Warrington Wolves 4, and you suspect that will be all she wrote, because we're into the 72nd minute here at Odsal Stadium, and Taurus just commenting on the art. Great for the thank you. Took me to a tongue twister there, but thank you very much for the commentary. Great stuff as always, and great to see that the Bulls are going to be home this afternoon. It will only be the 3rd win for Lee Beanie's side in 2018. But this could be the springboard for the Bulls to have a late push for the playoffs. The ball's gone 10, and Warrington picked it up. Lee Dyer's there, quickest to react. The Bulls players were almost suspecting that it was going to go for a penalty, and the forward pass there comes in after Elliot Wingley gives it to Jack Wright, and Jack Wright slams the ball down in absolute frustration and disgust, and it will be a scrum, head and feed to Bradford on their own 30. So 7.5 to go. Just go through those Bulls try scorers once again. A brace for Ryan Butterworth, Elliot Cullen, Alex Stevenson and Rowan Mills. 5 tries to 1, 26 points to 4. Been great entertainment, great fun. Certainly worth getting up to Odsal for the 12 noon start. And Bradford, well, they're not done just yet. Ryan Butterworth on tackle number 1 from the scrum. Wrapped up 20 shy halfway. Butterworth in at dummy half, looks for his options. Finds Hodgson, captain's knock, wrapped up. Got a little bit backward there, lost a bit of ground. But he did come up against Chamberlain and Wright. The forward pass, we'll see Gallagher to Butterworth on this main stand side. So, not quite the perfect performance from the Bulls. Still plenty of room to improve. 9th error of the afternoon there from Lee Beanie's side, and the referee will stop the clock because the Warrington players, they sense that there could be a miraculous comeback with the 6.5 minutes remaining. Never say never in rugby league. 6.5 minutes a long time, but they've got a bit of a mountain to overcome. 22 points, 26-4. Was there a knock on there at the base of the scrum? Referee looked towards the touch. Judge says no. Joe Edge on that left-hand side for the Wolves, wrapped up there by Cullen. Green once again in defence. Vasnes. Warrington just outside the 20 with Henry Collins. Collins gets to his feet, plays the ball. It's going to go to Dias. Lee Dias wrapped up there by Milnes. And Bradley Gallagher in defence. And it's a penalty to the Bradford Bulls. Somebody's kicked out in the tackle. Warrington are going to be down to 12 men now. And that will be in the dressing room and get the shower, because it's a yellow card with just over 6 minutes remaining. And well, we've seen quite a few cards from the referee. It's not quite Christmas or someone's birthday, but that's the 4th time he's gone to the back pocket this afternoon. And Warrington Wolves, they'll finish the game with 12 men after Bradley Gallagher took a strike to the arm. And Warrington really just losing the cool now, and it's getting a little bit ugly, a little bit touchy. And Lee Beattie and Mark Dunning will just be getting the message on to calm things down a little bit. 26 points to 4, the game's over. Big game next week as Reece Butterworth out of dummy half, wrapped up 5 shy of the halfway line. 26 points to 4 for the Bulls. Rowan Milnes appealing for a penalty at dummy half. It goes to Matty Staunton. Here they go, Ryan Butterworth over the hat-trick. Ryan Butterworth kicking ahead. He was body checked in the process. It's another penalty to the Bulls. They now have 14 penalties to Warrington's 8. The penalties really racking up against the Warrington Wolves, and he's now going to put Warrington on another warning. So Warrington, they could end up with more players off the field just yet. Rowan Milnes looking a little bit perplexed. Ryan Butterworth actually asked the question there of a penalty try, but there was 4 Warrington defenders back tracing in centre field. It'd take a brave referee to award that as a penalty try. Bradford get the penalty nonetheless. So with 4 minutes remaining at Odsal, Butterworth out of dummy half, 10 shy, centre of the field, bit of a miscommunication there. It's gone behind the Bradford side. Warrington have picked it up, so a chance gone begging there from the Bulls. That's their 10th error in this match, and Joe Edge on tackle number 2. 10 shy of halfway. It's going to be picked up by Wingley. Wingley to right. Right's going to be brought down 2 metres shy of the halfway line. Referee looks at his watch. We look on the stopwatch up here and we say there's 3.5 remaining. Game's gone now for the Wolves, and they're over on that left-hand edge now. Warrington just inside that Bradford half, and the referee's going to blow time early. Full time here at Odsal, and it has finished. The Bradford Bulls 26, Warrington Wolves 4. It is a 3rd win of the season for Lee Beattie's side. A magnificent performance, all 17 players, a lot of great effort, and the Bulls, they had to navigate the dismissal of Jake Lightowler in the 34th minute, and they've done that well. It was a performance built on some heroic defence, and 2 tries to Ryan Butterworth, Elliot Cullen, Alex Stevenson and Rowan Milnes at the death. Full time on Bulls Live Bulls TV. Bradford Bulls 26, Warrington Wolves 4.